be up and running. So let's see what we got going here, guys. It's going to let me know when we are, and we are live streaming. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to move that over here. That's not what I wanted to do, but that's okay. There we are. And so let's just close this, and we close that. Go here to here. All right. Let me find my right screen, and I'm going to start sharing my screen, and then we'll get the show on the road. So boom, sharing screen number 1, and there we go. All right. So today we're going to talk about Cloud CMA. And so there are a couple of different ways of getting into Cloud CMA. If you have a LAER website, you can go through your LAER website. If you have MLS PIN or Beaches, you are able to go through your MLS that way. So LAER has gone in and uploaded branded pages, set the settings so that everything that you do in a CMA is going to be branded with LAER. So today, what we're going to do then is I'm going to show you the 2 different ways of getting into Cloud CMA. And then I'm going to show you the settings that you need to have for your Cloud CMA. And then we'll do a quick CMA. Um, and so first of all, let's start with if you are in MLS PIN or if you are in Beaches MLS. Beaches MLS, you'll have the link on your dashboard. If you're the first time signing up for Cloud CMA, it's going to say, hey, here's a trial period. But once you're in and you've started the trial period and you set the settings for LAER, then they will not bill you. So don't put your credit card in or anything. So whatever you do, don't put your credit card in. Anyway, so um, in MLS PIN, what you could do is you could find a property and you could choose your properties that you want to put into your CMA, and you could put check marks next to them, right? And then you could click here. It says Cloud CMA, and that'll open up Cloud CMA and it'll input your listings in to the CMA and create start a new CMA. Or you can just click here where it says Cloud CMA, and it's going to bring you in. And since you're already signed into MLS, you don't need to sign in again. And hang on. Boom. And you click launch, and it's going to open it up. And it'll have all your previous CMAs. If you've done them before, it'll have all your previous CMAs right there. So what we're going to do next, though, is I want to show you how to get in. If you go in through your website, what you would do, of course, is you would click on login, and you go into the back end, and it's going to show you your dashboard here. It'll be like this, right? And then up in this corner, you have the 4 squares. You would click on here, and you go down, and here is a link for Cloud CMA. And it'll also take you in that way also. And you can see here are the same, probably the exact same, yep, the exact same CMAs. So let's close this one. Let's stay with this one here. All right, so now that we're in, there's a couple of things you need to know. If you are in more than one multiple listing service, um, you may have to, on a regular basis, update your MLS data in Cloud CMA. So today I'm going to do a CMA in Massachusetts, but for whatever reason, Cloud CMA defaults to my New Hampshire MLS ID. So every time I sign in, if I'm going to do a CMA in Massachusetts, I always have to update my MLS ID. If you are on the Cape and you have, Cloud CMA is going to pick one of your MLS IDs and set that as a default, and there's not much else you can do about it. So, um, anyways, but once you're in Cloud CMA, there's a couple of things that you do need to do in order to get the branding set up for LAER. What you'll need to do is if you come over here, usually it's a green circle with your initials, or it's like I have already loaded my picture up. It's going to be my picture. I'm going to go into account settings. And account settings has some very important settings here. One of them is the company name. So for whatever reason, and I have never figured it out, but I always have to retype LAER. So it's all caps. I prefer LAER. LAER is, that is our branding, all caps LAER. Um, but anyways, in order to get the LAER branding, you need to have the LAER company name here. Now, you can put LAER Realty Partners, or you can put LAER Realty, or you can put LAER Realty Bowen. All of those things will work, and all of those things will um, uh, tie into the LAER branding. And as you can see, I've already put my photo in. I've uploaded a LAER logo. Um, and I can save my profile, and my profile's been saved. Now, that's step one to get the branding, right? So you do that before you even start a CMA. Step two is, and you only need to do this once, step two is going to be when you're actually inside the CMA and getting ready to publish it. So the very first time you ever go through that, there is one more step, and I'll show you what that one more step is. But in the meantime, I'm going to come over here. Here's my folders. I'm going to click on MLS credentials. And as you can see, it's got me listed in New Hampshire. So if you are, say, in Florida, you would click Florida. You would choose whatever MLS system you're in, probably Beaches. You would put in your MLS ID number as if you're signing into your own MLS. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to say Massachusetts. I'm going to say that I'm signing into the MLS PIN network. And then I'm going to input my MLS ID and my MLS password as if I was signing into my MLS. And now I'm going to click Update MLS Credentials. Now, here's why that's important. We're going to go back here to CMA now. And as you can see, suddenly there's a whole bunch more CMAs. These are CMAs. Some of them are real. Some of them have been tests for different people and everything. So, and as you can see, they're all here. Now, for uh, the reason this is important is because you are going to be pulling some of the information uh, from directly from the MLS. So you always need to be sure you're in the correct MLS. Um, so what we're going to do is, so if at this point, if I was in MLS PIN, here we go, and I had these boxes checked, right? I could say, let's do CMA. And now it's going to open it up and it's going to give me the opportunity to put in a name and put in information, right? So back in MLS, what I did is I just picked a random address and just went with it. And it was 28 Hamlin Street. That's the CMA we're going to do today. And it's going to be a 5-room, 2-bedroom, 1-bath home with about 1,053 square feet on a third of an acre lot. And I've never seen the house before. It just happens that I just picked an address out of the air, and it was something that had been in MLS before. So that's what we're going to do. So what I did here is I went through and I chose a couple of properties, right? What I would recommend to do is if you have Beaches or MLS PIN, what you would do is you want to do figure out what properties you're going to use ahead of time, go through and check all your actives, your under agreements, and your solds, and then you'd import them directly. It's pretty wild. But take a look at this is we did this, boom, CMA. Down here, you can see we have 3 of these have been added in. So that's pretty good. So now we're going to put in the client's name. I've been calling everybody Tom Sellerman, right? And this is probably the 25th CMA I've done for him. So we'll call him Tom Sellerman 25. And now we're going to put in the address. And here's the cool thing, 28 Hamlin, right? And as you click on this, it's going to give you a bunch of different choices here. Um, and didn't give me that one yet. So let's go street. And there's Lunenburg, 28 Hamlin, boom. And it's going to pull the information from the assessor's data. So it's a 2-bedroom with 1 bath and 1,053 square feet. And actually, let's see here. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, 2-bedroom. And I could put a cover photo in if I had a cover. Actually, you know what? Let me just do this real quick. I'm going to save that image and I will put that into save it right there. And now I'm just going to go ahead and add that photo in. So we'll see what it's going to look like. I put it in onboarding. And then let's see what one is. There's the photo right there. And looks great. I could crop it, do whatever, but I'm going to put it in. And we're going to use that for our CMA. But as you can see, it pulled from tax data, the assessor's data, 2-bedroom, 1 bath, 1,053 square feet residential. More information, the lot size, 1/3 of an acre, built in 1929. Taxes are 48.67 a year. It actually has a 1-car garage with it. And let me see, is that a ranch? Yeah, that looks like a ranch. So we're gonna put that in as a style too. So now that we have all that, now what we want to do is I imported numbers from MLS, right? And so they're right there. But we also want to do automatically find listings near the subject property. So I'm going to click on Fetch Properties. And while it's doing that, I apologize. I just need to sneeze real quick. Sorry about that. Okay, so now I'm back. And so now what it's done is it's looked at the closest properties to that. But it also should have included, boom, 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 Pierce, Maine, Elizabeth. That's funny. It did not include uh my 3 that I wanted, but hey, whatever. Anyway, so it's telling me then the median price is $399, average price is $389, low is $316, the high is $450. And it's already automatically picked some of the properties for us. This one has been withdrawn, but here are some closed properties. Here's more closed properties that were not chosen. Here's one that is active, but it was not chosen. So this program can be good and it can be fairly accurate and helpful, but you do sort of kind of need to know the area, right? And so here's the map of this showing that uh, Kirby Street closed. So these are the ones that we didn't use yet. This one, these are the ones that have closed. Here's one that's active, no, was withdrawn. So we're not, you know, so it's got your different options here, which is good. So let's just zoom out just a short bit. All right, so here are the properties. And what we did is we did a search according to the area. And so what we could do is figure out, hey, looking at this price, if you already have a general price price in mind, if you already have a price in mind, you can put the price in here. You can put a price range in. You know, you might say, hey, that house is going to be maybe between 319 and 329, right? And so you could put in 319, comma 900 dash 329, comma 900, right? Or you could put a specific number in. But here's the cool thing is anytime you put the number in here, it's also going to generate a net sheet. If you leave it blank, it will not generate a land sheet. So here's the properties that's been chosen. And we don't know if these are really close properties or not, but look at this, a lot of 2-bedroom, 1-bath homes with about the right square footage, huh? Right? So Rennie Street here is actually 1,200 square feet. It's bigger, sold for 416. Whalum Road, 1,500 square feet, much bigger. Uh, Still just 2 bedrooms, 1 bath. So all these were chosen. And then down here we see a bunch of 3 bedrooms. So this program actually did pretty good. Um, this one is 2 bedrooms, 2 baths, but 1,800 square feet. So that's not been chosen. And what's pending, we could activate these if we wanted to. And pending, I might as well, even though they're 3 bedrooms, it'll add a little bit more information to everything else. And here's a Wallace Park. So we're going to just add these in. And actually, I'm going to uncheck this one. All right. So generally, when doing a CMA, the whole idea is to help guide a seller into the right price range, right? Um, Give them the information and say, you know what? If you list your home within this range, it's going to sell quickly. You're going to get the best money for your home. Um, and so that's the whole idea of a CMA. And generally, what you'd want to do is you want to give the seller a choice of somewhere between 4 or 5 already sold homes, so they can see comparable homes to their own to see how much they have sold for, right? And so part of your job is to go through the listings, figure out which ones apply, which ones don't. Um, and then the next part is if it's available, you want to try and get 3 pending properties, maybe 4 pending properties if they're available. But basically is what you want to show the seller is properties that are similar to yours are selling, and here's where they're priced at, right? And then the last group, and it depends on your marketplace and everything, and how many are active and everything. Now I'm just seeing here is just one is active. But what you want to do is you want to show who the competition is, who you're going to be up against. And for the actives, like right now, we're looking at a 2-bedroom ranch, okay? Um, and the one that we have listed for active is a 3-bedroom with 1,200 square feet. And I don't know if it's a ranch or what, but basically is what you're saying is this is in the same general area as that house, and um, and here's who the competition is, right? So that's what you want to put into the CMA. And as you look here, you can see there's quite a few that are not chosen, but the red ones are sold, the orange ones are pending, and the green are active. So that's the whole choosing which properties for your CMA that you want to do, right? And I can tell you right now, this is way off. So we know that property is not going to go for above 400. So I'm going to uncheck the 400 ones, right? But I don't need to necessarily just do that. Like you can actually take a look at a property and say, okay, here's this one for 450. Well, all right, so there we are. It's across the street from the lake, right? So you probably have lake access. Um, and Yep, stunning views across the street from public boat launch, right? So um being in that location, that's going to add a value to it. So what you could do is if you really wanted to use this property, you could say, well, you know what? It is 2 bedrooms, it's a 1 bath, and here's some more information. It's a craftsman style house, which is kind of a step up from a ranch, probably. Um, you wouldn't call it a ranch a craftsman unless it had some of the great details. So um, you look at a property and you can say, well, I'm not going to use that one, but maybe you want to because maybe it's, uh, you know, has an abutting lot line or whatever, but you can make adjustments. Now, not adjustments as an appraiser, but adjustments as making adjustments to the marketing value, right? You're not making adjustments to the actual value, but the marketing value. And so what you would do is you would say, well, so this one on, what's the address here, is Main Street. This one on Main Street, its value is here. The one on Hamlin is here. And what we want to do then is we want to bring down Hamlin so that it's equal to Main Street. And so one of the ways to do that is you could say, how much is waterfront worth, right? You could say a waterfront property, um, a waterfront property could be worth $75,000, right? But because you want to bring it down to equal to Hamlin, it would be a negative 75 on here because you're making the adjustments to the property that is not the subject line, the subject property. So on Main Street, we would bring the value from 450 minus 75 for waterfront, adjust value. And then here you might say the other thing this one might have is it is a bigger square footage, so you might make an additional adjustment and say, you know what, this one is let's see, what was the square footage? 1534. So this one is 500 square feet more, right? And so you might say, okay, so um, what is 500 square feet worth in marketing? In marketing value, and so you would want to bring this down further. And so maybe that's another 20,000, right? And then you would save that. And so now you could use this as a comparable because you've brought the value down to try and equalize the marketing value. And you're not acting as an appraiser. You're just kind of making adjustments to the marketing value of a property. Um, and so, and then you can also add different notes here too and say, it's like, this is across the street from the lake with lake access. Boom. Much larger home. Boom. Right. And you can add that note and that can become part of your CMA. So for that reason, I'm going to actually leave this one in. And let's see here. Pratt sold for 400. We're going to get rid of that one too. And as I'm going down here, I'm seeing that we're making adjustments, and the whole idea is to help guide the seller into the right price range. And then let me see here. We could add like 13 Burke Street, right? Even though it's a 3-bedroom, so we can make an adjustment on this one too, right? So we'll just put a note here. It's 3 bedrooms, right? Boom, add that note. And down here, we can make the adjustment. So we can say it's got an extra bedroom. And what's an extra bedroom going to be worth? Maybe 25,000, do you think? Who knows? But it depends on your market, of course. So, oh, let's do a negative here. Boom. And we're going to save that. And now we've got an adjustment value on this one too. So as you're going through, let me see, we're down to 7 solds, 2 pending, 1 active. And that's pretty good. So now that we have all these properties picked and chosen, right? And of course, if you're doing a CMA in your own area, you would know the area better and be able to make better choices too. So, all right, so we're going to click on Customized Report. Now, this is going to put the report together in and this whole process, right? You need to do this process first, and it's going to put it together. So the output's going to be a PDF. And so now over here, a couple of important things is this is important, especially the first time that you do this. What you need to do is on the theme, you need to make sure that it says LAER Realty Partners, which is the name, which is what the company name is that you put in there, right? So when you click on this, if it doesn't say LAER Realty Partners, maybe when you start out, it's I don't know, it's blue and gold or something like that, right? So I don't know where blue and gold is, but we're going to choose that theme just to show you the differences. Like so if you come in and the theme says blue and orange, right? It doesn't say LAER, then you need to make this correction. But let me just show you that if you come over here and you see all these different folders over here, the standard, the power packs, Tom Ferry pages. These are pages that uh, uh, um, Cloud CMA wants to sell to you, but you don't need to do that, and you don't want to do that. So once you choose the correct um, branding, those pages will go away and you'll have just LAER pages. Now, when you click on this, what you want to do is you want to scroll all the way up to the top. And at the very top, it says affiliates, and then after that, it says branded. If you scroll up to the top and it's got Remax and other companies here, then you need to go back to the profile setting and put in LAER Realty Partners. Um, all right, so if you only have the choice of LAER Realty Partners, you know you're in the right spot. And so what you want to do is click on that and you want to choose that theme. And as you can see, as it's going to go, now you just have all the standard right here. Now it has automatically chosen all of the LAER pages, but you don't want to use all of them. But you can take a look at and see what they look like. So click on the eyeball and it's going to open it up as a PDF preview. And this is one of the pages it's going to use, right? And so if there was one that you said you didn't want to use or something, um, you could just click on the red circle and it removes it, right? Um, Otherwise, you can click here and you could see what the page looks like. There we go. This is a great page the marketing department did. Definitely got to use that one. But so over here in your folders, because there's two pages we're not using, there's a LAER Realty Partners folder. There's the introduction, listing, closing. You can come over here and say, you know what? I want to add some more pages to this CMA. You know, it's like why you need a realtor, intelligent pricing, staging your home. Um, as you click the plus signs, they're all added into the very end. Now, one of the things is too is it's going to give you a testimonial chapter. But if you're not using Zillow or Real Satisfied, you want to get rid of these pages. So I'm just going to click and it's going to remove these pages here. Boom, boom. And now everything is here. Now, one other thing about this is kind of weird, but you always want to come down here to the title page, click on, hold it, and you can just move it up to the top. You can move your pages around any way you want it, put it in any order you want. So all right, so now that we're set, now that you know that you can add and subtract pages, you can move these pages around, and you know that you need to have the LAER theme here, right? So now we're going to go ahead and click on Publish the Report. And this is going to put everything together as a PDF. And now it's just got to go through and cycle through. In the meantime, let me just see if we have anybody have any questions. Let's see here. Mhm. Let's just double check. There we go. Oh, there we go. Okay. Nope, no questions. We're good. All right. Awesome. All right. So, um, it's still waiting to publish. This happens when I'm doing a Zoom meeting. Everything kind of slows down on this. So we'll get through it. There we go. View PDF. So there are two different outputs with this program. One, of course, is the traditional PDF. And we're going to look at that first. And then we're going to look at the View Live version too. So on the View PDF, this is what we've been working on. And this is what we put all those pages in order for. And it's going to pull all the listings. There are different ways of presenting some of the listings and everything. So, but here we have the title page, nice picture of the home, right? Seller, Tom Sellerman, 25, and then we have all the LAER pages. 42 offices, 750 plus agents. We'll have to update that because we have more offices, more agents. But as we go down, you can see all these great pages. Everything is in the LAER colors. And then as you get down here to the actual CMA itself, you're going to see everything is going to be with your information, your photo, your cell phone number. and the LAER logo over on the other side. And everything you can see is in the LAER colors. And as you keep scrolling down, here's the CMA. Here's a map of the properties we've chosen compared to the subject line, a subject property. And you come down here, and here it just tells you which properties are which and everything else. But it also shows that we made 2 adjustments. So you can see it was 450. We said, well, 355. Was 374. We said really 349 because we made adjustments to even out the market. And then here is going to be summary, and here is a list of the sold properties and compared to the actual sold price to the adjusted average price, right? And then pending and active. And then here are all the listings. So what we've done here is we've chosen so that it's going to be 2 photos. The first 2 photos on MLS are going to be here, right? And it's going to be all this information and the remarks. And then it's going to be the next 12 photos that were put into MLS. Now you can choose whether you want 1 or 2 photos here, and you can choose how much information you want here. And then down here, you can also choose whether or not you want all the additional photos. I like the additional photos. It adds a lot of pages because right now we're at 60 pages for the CMA, right? Which is a lot, but it's important for people to be able to see everything here. So oh, and here's this one that we made adjustments to. And you can see 450, but we adjusted it down to 355. And now we're going to take a look at these photos. And you can see nice, beautiful deck, huge deck, right? Looks like a nice place, but we were just making adjustments to the marketing value to even out the values of what we were comparing to. So now we're going to scroll down here. As we come down, after all the listings, there's going to be an area for the analysis. And so because we made adjustments, it's got this extra part in here. So without the adjustments, the average was going to be 378. Instead, we're saying about 352. So it'd be 312 per square foot. And here's the pending and actives. And then here is a page you can decide whether or not to use. This is the Zestimate page, and it can show you, it can be very helpful here because actually it shows here that uh, Zillow is up to 5% off the price generally in that area. So from the properties we chose, you can see how inaccurate Zillow is. So, and then so it can work in your advantage. So you can decide whether or not you're going to use that page or not. And then here, this was going to show you that the properties that did sell, on average, they went for almost 104% of the asking price. And then here is the suggested list price range, right? That's what I suggested, between 303 and 313. I'm not too far off because like if you come up here, to the adjusted price is 312. So I'm within that range, believe it or not. So anyways, this one's always good. This is going to show you what the original price is, what the final price was. And you can see like this one that's pending. They had they started here, now they're here. So and then 312 square feet kind of shows you where everybody is in that range. All this is great information to share with the seller and everything. And then the other additional information here is like why you need a realtor, what is intelligent pricing, and what happens when you first put a home on the market. All this is good information. So this is the first output. Oops, holy crap, sorry. Hang on, guys. Hmm. Um, Sorry about that. All right, so this first output is the PDF, and then when you get it this way, you save it as a PDF. You can print it on one of the office printers, um, and you can have your admin bind it for you, put it into, with the thing and everything. and it makes a really nice presentation. So you can do it that way. So um, the so this is the first way of doing it. The second way I want to tell you about is the live view. And so I'm going to click on this. This is good if you want to do your presentation on your tablet. So you can meet with the seller and you're going to have the whole thing on your tablet and you just kind of scroll through and show it to them. And so all the different pages like the cover page, the LAER mission, LAER cares, the technician tech information, that's all going to be PDFs. Um, and then it has all the comps. So what you can do is you can say, hey, here's, let's do it this way. Here's the LAER mission, and you click here and you go to the next page and click here, it goes to the next page. And if there's something that you want to emphasize, you can click on here and you can make changes and highlight stuff that way. So um, boom, let's go back here and let's go down to the comps. This part is really cool, right? So um, for the comps, it's going to show everything here and you can just click here and go, scroll through, show the comps just like that, right? It's pretty good. Then the other thing you can do is if you scroll down, there's a little bit more information here. It tells you how many days on the market and everything else. And then it can, let's see here. Boom. Are those the two that we made adjustments on? Yeah. So these two we made adjustments on and it shows what the adjustments were, right? So the other thing you can do is you can click on them and while you're doing the presentation on your tablet and everything, and you can just kind of like scroll through, show them the photos, say, hey, you can see, this price, this house sold for 355, and you can obviously see this one has floors, your house doesn't, whatever you want to do. And you can also say, like make emphasis on different things, so um, then you can go to the very next property by clicking down here and just kind of like scroll through this way. Um, and so this house is pending, 239. That's why it's priced so low. Is like definitely overcrowded house there. So, but then we go back up here and we go back to all the different listings and everything else. So you can also click and see a map of it. You can uh, and then we can also see different stats. So um, and this is a cool page here, right? So it's got, the low, the high, average, median, um, and how many, the average days on the market, whether it was closed, pending, or active. So let's go back to comparisons. Now we go down here to the bottom and we go to the next page, and this is going to show that one graph where it's going to show you price per square foot and everything, and then average pricing, and it's going to divide it up between closed, pending, and active. Um, Online valuation. So here it is comparing to the Z estimate. You can show how crazy off it is sometimes, right? So and then this one's also showing uh like here is like this one was here. Uh so that's the other cool thing too, is like you can click on these listings right here and kind of like scroll through and everything else. Um so that is the online live view. Now, if there are pages in here that you don't want to use, or if you want to move them around, you have the three bars over here. You can click here and you can say customize. And then from here, you can say, you know what? Um, this layer tech should be right up here, but I don't want to do I don't want to do the agent resume because um, I didn't fill it out. I didn't do anything for it. Let me see, where did it go? Oh, agent resume was already turned off. We'll turn it back on or off, whatever. Here are the 10 comps. You can move things around easily enough. Uh, Time to sell, whatever you want to do. It's all there. So that is Cloud CMA. Hopefully all that made sense. Um, it's a great program. If we go back here to, uh, Here it is. It's been published and everything. We go back here to the CMA. And we're going to see here's Tom Sellerman number 25 for 28 Hamlin, and we can we can click view PDF, view live, any of these old ones here too. We can even click edit, and we can go back in and start editing too. So um, you can also add in more properties if you want. Easy enough to do. So let's say update listings. You can do different sorts. And you can add listings by just entering the MLS ID number. And actually, let me see, what was the MLS ID number on that one property? Let's go to, here we go. And we'll show you how that works. All you got to do is put in the MLS ID number 7207 94, I'm sorry, 6492 6492. And let's see here, add listing. And let's see what we have here is, it should have pulled it over. 7207 6492. Don't know what I did wrong. Huh. Not sure what I did. Anyway, you can still add listings. I just don't know how, but it's there. I'll have to play around with it. I'm probably doing something wrong or forgot to uncheck something, but that's how Cloud CMA works. And it's a great, great program. Let me just see if we have any questions. No questions there. And let's just go over here. And I don't see any questions here. Let's just refresh this real quick. All right. Looks good, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining in, and um, it's a great program. So I hope you get. If you have any questions on anything, just email us here at happyagent@lairrealty.com. Thanks.